Biggest one. Biggest news while I was gone, as far as I can tell from anything. Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. And I know that shouldn't be the biggest topic in the world. I know it shouldn't be, but it is. I mean, this is massive news. We've got a major shakeup at one of the biggest media companies, arguably the most popular and successful media company in the United States. And one that has kind of held itself out as a voice they proclaim for half the country. And they just seem to constantly be fighting against their ability to be that voice. And so with Fox's Dominion settlement and Tucker Carlson being tossed out, I figure we need to talk about what's going on over there. What about Don Lemon? I don't care about Don Lemon at all. I don't think Don Lemon's network, I know he's fired or whatever from CNN. I don't think it's anywhere near as big of news as Tucker Carlson, personally, because Don Lemon is just, God, Don Lemon sucks. Like, everything about him sucks. Tucker Carlson is no longer at Fox News. Like, that's the story, right? Rumor has it he was terminated, and there's some speculation as to why. I think, and I've got two news articles to talk about it. I have no idea why Tucker is actually fired from Fox. I don't think the actual reasons are public, but people are, of course, going to speculate. And let's start with this article from the Wall Street Journal. It says Tucker Carlson's vulgar, offensive messages about colleagues helped seal his fate at Fox News. Primetime host called senior executive the C word in redacted missive. Network grew wary of further embarrassment from possible disclosure. Several, wait, I'm sorry, wait, is Fox News saying they're going to be embarrassed because Tucker Carlson called an executive at Fox News like, who's that embarrassing to? Now, Fox News just settled with Dominion for $700 million, something like that, $787 million, something like that. Fox News' stock has taken a massive hit to the tune of like $900 million. So Fox has just lost effectively close to $2 billion. Just the almost $2 billion, though. And then they fire Tucker Carlson, the number one talent at the company, or they, encourage him to leave or whatever. Several weeks ago, as Fox News lawyers prepared for a courtroom showdown with Dominion voting systems, they presented Tucker Carlson with what they thought was good news. They'd persuaded the court to redact from a legal filing the time he called a senior Fox News executive the C word, according to people familiar with the matter. Why would he be happy about that? Mr. Carlson, Fox News' most watched primetime host, wasn't impressed. Told his colleagues that he wanted the world to know what he had said about the executive in a private message. People said, Mr. Carlson said comments he made about former President Donald Trump, I hate him passionately, that were in the court documents were said during a momentary spasm of anger, while his dislike of this executive was deep and enduring. Ooh, keep talking sexy. The messages were part of a trove of emails and texts from Fox executives and hosts that were made public as a result of Dominion's defamation lawsuit. The voting machine company accused Fox Networks of airing false claims by hosts and guests that Dominion helped rig the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election in favor of Joe Biden. Now, that's what the article says, Google. YouTube, I'm not saying shit about chat, okay? Fox News parent company Fox Corp last week agreed to pay $787.5 million to settle the dispute. On Monday, Mr. Carlson's famously combative stance toward members of the Fox News management and other colleagues caught up with him as the network abruptly announced it was parting ways with him just minutes after informing Mr. Carlson of the change. The private messages in which Mr. Carlson showed disregard for management and colleagues were a major factor in that decision, according to other people familiar with the matter. Although no, they weren't. I can guarantee you Tucker Carlson calling someone at management at Fox like a piece of shit or fat slob or a commie or a liberal. None of that at all had anything to do with Tucker Carlson being out. I promise you. Because all that shit is old. It's old. Bosses don't care if you call them names, as long as you are making the company and by extension the bosses generally a shitload of money. No, they don't fucking care that he calls them a. They're like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Right? Motherfucker is the biggest show. He's the biggest show on TV. Why? Call me a all day. Make me $1 million tomorrow, please. It's so dumb. This shit is so speculative. Although many portions of the Dominion Court documents are redacted, there is concern among Fox Corp executives that if the redacted material were to become public, it would lead to further embarrassment for the network and the parent company. But see, that's going to happen whether Tucker works there or not. This is a shitty cover-up reason for Tucker being fired, because Tucker isn't the guy who's going to unredact the documents. With an average audience of 3.2 million viewers during the first quarter, Mr. Carlson's Tucker Carlson Tonight was the network's most watched evening show over that period and second most popular telecast overall behind the afternoon talk show The Five. Within Fox's management, reservations had been mounting about risks Mr. Carlson presented for the network. People familiar with the matter said some of the people pointed to concerns that the populist firebrand had come to believe himself bigger than the network.
He is.
Tucker Carlson is bigger than Fox News. This is what old media doesn't understand. Because old media is stuck in a mindset of like 50 years ago. Old media says, we are a network. We are the trustworthy source. The name Fox News carries weight. Sorry, Fox. You've been fucking it up since election night. And people have been grudgingly hanging on to their loyalty to Fox News because Tucker was lending you the credibility. Tucker was lending you his audience. Sure, Fox helped grow that audience, but it's Tucker who kept people coming back every single night. Not Fox, not the name Fox. Not like, oh, well, I got to turn on Fox News for this show segment. It's Tucker Carlson. It's the personalities, baby. We're going back to a more democratized media across the board, which means very specifically that it's about building trust and rapport between the audience and the presenter, whoever it may be. Trusted journalist, TV personality, whoever that is. Maybe it's the executive of the company. However, like Breitbart, right? However you do that, Mike Drudge, same there, Matt Drudge, whatever his name is, Drudge, from the Drudge Report. The credibility is built by a person, not the brand. The person builds the credibility these days. We've gotten to the point where we can go grab our news from literally a million places and get a million opinions. So now what those opinions are and how they mold to our personal interests, that's what matters. That's Tucker. Tucker's able to relate these news stories to millions of people every night. Fox News executives aren't, and they probably can't handle someone who is, or can't hire someone who is. So yeah, bigger than the network? Absolutely. A cardinal sin in Fox Corp chair Rupert Murdoch's empire and was increasingly operating as his own island. Good, as he should have been. Mr. Murdoch and his family are large shareholders in Fox Corp and Wall Street Journal parent News Corp. On air, Mr. Carlson had turned up the volume on commentary that had expanded beyond a conservative viewpoint on politics into more of an attack on marginalized groups. Yeah, see, this is the best part. They think they get to just run whatever story they want about Tucker because, oh, he can't make fun of us anymore. I got news for you. If Tucker wants to come back and call you gay, it means you're gay. If Tucker is smart and he nourishes this opportunity, he can go all fucking in I know he posted a Twitter update 5 hours ago, and it was like, good evening, folks, or whatever. Yeah. On air. Yeah. His show, more than those of his primetime colleagues, Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham, frequently landed the network in hot water, particularly with advertisers. Stupid. Such a stupid fucking thing. Advertisers. And the advertisers don't actually care. The advertisers are told by some marketing idiot that they're supposed to care about these other demographics. They're like, oh, God, if Tucker Carlson called a Fox News executive, what would he do? The advertisers don't care. They're using every 2 seconds. If you meet people in the advertising and marketing world, these are not clean-mouthed altar boys. This weird idea that these people are like so sanitized. Everywhere people pretend to be so fucking sanitized. No one is like this. Everyone is like you. You're normal. You're normal. They're just hiding it in public. And you're autistic, so you can't. But you're normal. Oh, people don't swear. And people swear all the fucking time. At work, constantly. I swear in church. Mr. Carlson sometimes trafficked in what critics, including some higher-ups within Fox, felt was thinly veiled racism on his show, such as when he recently suggested a Tennessee lawmaker got into a good college only because of his skin color, some of the people said. Mr. Carlson declined to comment on his departure. Okay, anyway. Long story short, they're like, well, Tucker was mean. Tucker was mean. That's why he had to go. No. My thought is pretty simple. Look, Tucker, for better or worse, got Fox News into 2 lawsuits worth in excess of like $4 billion. They're not gonna keep him around. It's not the right move. It's abjectly the wrong move, but they're in old media thought. The old media thought is that the brand matters, the talent doesn't matter. We make the talent, not the talent makes us. But what they missed is that while Fox is a big powerhouse brand, it's the creators, brother. It's the people that you've had on staff who generate the audiences, who point your bullhorn in the right direction and get people running to it. They are influencers. Influencers have absurd amounts of power. But I also think that it might have been an unspoken part of the settlement too. Like Dominion, like, oh, by the way, fire that motherfucker Tucker. Fire him. He fucking exposed it. I mean, that's what they said. That's what Dominion said in a recorded conversation that I have proof of. It's a joke. It's a joke. This is my favorite Tucker story, though. Good riddance. Pentagon officials cheer Tucker Carlson's ouster. The former Fox host ridiculed top DoD leaders over Biden-era policies. We're just going to look at a couple paragraphs of this. From maternity flight suits to diversity policies and to Ukraine aid, the military was a favorite punching bag for Tucker Carlson. Now that he's off the air, some Pentagon officials are quietly cheering his departure. Carlson's criticism of Biden-era personnel policies appeared to many of the rank and file, which is a large block of conservative members, or appealed to many of the rank and file, which is a large block of conservative members. But at the upper levels of the Defense Department, news of Carlson's firing from Fox News on Monday was met with delight and outright glee in some corners. We are a better country without him bagging on our military every night in front of hundreds of thousands of people, said one senior DoD official who, like others interviewed for this story, was granted anonymity to discuss a politically sensitive topic. Can you imagine? You're a top person at the Department of Defense for the most powerful country with the most powerful military. You're the top person there. Oh my God, I'm so glad that Tucker Carlson stopped bullying us. He's not concerned about what any other country will do, what any other foreign agents will do. But oh, thank God Tucker isn't there to bully you anymore. Literally could just press a button and bomb his ass. But he made fun of you and it hurt you. Can you fucking imagine being these people? Good riddance, said a second DOD official. Asked to respond to the news, the DOD officials are pleased by his departure from Fox. Carlson responded by text message, "Ha! I'm sure." He declined to comment further. Of course. But let's see why. Tension between the former cable host and Pentagon leadership isn't new. Carlson drew the ire of top DOD officials early in the Biden administration for personal attacks on a number of military leaders, as well as ridiculing the armed forces' effort to increase diversity, which is the only thing you should be doing. A slew of conservative leaders quickly followed Carlson's lead, giving rise to a small but vocal minority that to this day continues to hammer DOD officials, saying they're focusing personnel policies at the expense of preparing for war. The Pentagon says only a small percentage of troops' time is spent on diversity training. Oh, really? Is it zero? Because that's what it should be. The amount of training that you need on diversity in the military is zero. It's always been zero. Is zero training on diversity. What the fuck are you talking about? Shoot the target. Most memorably, Carlson's remarks disparaging female service members in March 2021 prompted a rare rebuke from then Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby. After President Joe Biden announced new efforts to recruit and keep women in the service, including designing new body armor, updating requirements for hairstyles, and the nominations of 2 female generals to become combat commanders. At a White House ceremony, Carlson accused the commander-in-chief of making a mockery of the troops. So we've got new hairstyles, maternity flight suits. Pregnant women are going to fight our wars. It's a mockery of the U.S. military, he said. In response, Kirby took a rare swipe at the Fox News host. What we absolutely won't do is take personnel advice from a talk show host or the Chinese military. Okay. Maybe you should. I'm just thinking. Maybe you should. Consider taking advice from either of those people, because they will not let the bullshit in. Fucking unreal. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Tucker thing. Long time coming. Tucker's voice was too independent. Tucker's voice is too independent, too popular, and too funny. You can't be those 3 things and be at his level. Fox cannot countenance it. Fox was trying to dispel the notion that Tucker was bigger than Fox, and they were so scared of him that they had to fire him to do so. Which that's what you do when you're really flexing on someone who you know can independently go do what they're already doing and probably outperform you if they do it. They do it right. But that said, when did common sense and logic stop anyone? They believe that the network has the power, that the network has the brand recognition, that Tucker Carlson's just the guy that happens to be in the slot right now. It's a fucking disaster, man. These media companies think it's them. They think it's them. They don't realize it's been the talent for ages. Tucker is not establishment, and Fox is establishment. Fox is the right-wing establishment. There's the established media. They're the ordained professors of right-wing truth to the normal masses. So Tucker has to go. He's He's too independent. He thinks too highly of himself. He doesn't run with the Fox party lines. I'm not surprised at all that Tucker's gone. I think he'll bounce somewhere else and make a show that is huge. And he'll get paid a fucking fortune for it. Go for it, Tucker. I hope you pound their asses into oblivion in ratings or whatever, and in real life.
So pour out an odd bag of bow, more of the Freud. Spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea, post on Twitter as we hear Lost Painting tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the thought better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed.